Justin Roiland was let go from Rick and Morty at the end of last year, starting in the new year here. And they just released season 7 without him, and the ratings are in the tank, are they not, Mary?
Yeah, and the media is coping about it. I found this article from Variety saying, Rick and Morty works just fine without Justin Roiland. Season 7 proves that they are going to be just fine without him. But he's the co-creator, the voice actor for both of the protagonists, and writer.
Yeah, if you mean just fine in the salty girlfriend kind of way, then yeah.
You'll never find another girl. Have you ever seen that video of like the guy? It's like the car of people, and they're going. It's like a bunch of girls on the way to like an LSU football game. They're all dressed exactly the same. And there's just a guy in the back of a car going like, "You'll never find another girl like me. You'll never find another girl like me." Like that's what it feels like. But I listened to a couple of the clips. I mean, the voices they sound pretty close. But again, I'm not a Rick and Morty fan.
They had to listen to thousands of voice acting auditions for Rick and Morty, both characters. I guess they replaced them with 2 people instead of 1 because Justin Roiland was formerly doing both. But you're a Rick and Morty fan, I understand.
Oh my goodness.
These
are false narratives being spread on the internet.
Well,
you saw one of the new episodes last night, right?
I did. So I watched.
So she is.
So yeah.
So the allegations
I
are
was
true.
waiting for someone to bring it up.
Yeah.
I did watch the first episode last night.
Thoughts?
And so my thoughts are the voices trying to imitate the original Rick and Morty were like nails on a chalkboard because they're so close to being the right thing, but they're just not. So it's like that kind of irritating like thing.
It'd be better if they went a different way entirely somehow.
Or just cancel the show. Do a Breaking Bad,
or just don't fire the guy.
Yeah, or don't fire the creator of the show and try to continue it without him and act like everything's fine.
Do you want to explain to everybody shortly what happened?
So the last time we talked about this, he had domestic violence charges against him from an ex that got dismissed. They got dropped. That's a separate thing. The rest of it is just that he was sending dodgy text messages and DMs to high school girls that were big fans of the show, and he used his clout as the creator of Rick and Morty. I couldn't cringe harder. Just
Rick and Morty clout.
He used his Rick and Morty clout and their love of Rick and Morty to get.
What was the quote from the woman?
Oh yeah, one fan said that he used her sexual trauma and love of Rick and Morty to groom her when she was 16. I don't know. It was adult women. It was also girls that were in high school all together.
You can never tell on the internet either.
And you don't really know.
Yeah.
Whatever. Okay, he was being weird.
Yeah, if we were gonna fire every guy that did that, we would have no CEOs anymore. I'm just gonna throw that out there. Not all of them really, but 90% of them would have to go. Also, what happened to the separation of work and your personal life? Whatever he's going through in his personal life, if it's a domestic violence, whatever, charge or accusation, isn't that your personal life? As much as abhorrent as I think that is, obviously, that shouldn't necessarily get you fired from your job. It should be kept private, shouldn't it?
I mean, a lot of felons would tell you, look, once you get a felony on your record, it's impossible to get a good job anyways. So it's there is a gap there. It's what is actually true there.
Yeah, and
you're right.
If he's found guilty, then yeah, sure, then fire him. But while he's going through it, I feel that's kind of
the unfortunate fact of the matter is when you're a public-facing persona, the rules are
someone said he used his status to get chicks. Shocking. Yeah. And yes,
no way.
I agree, but just the fact that he had status from something as stupid as Rick and Morty is cringe enough that I can't take any of it seriously. I'm sorry. I don't care.
The other thing that's funny about it is he will still get paid for all of these episodes because he's co-creator. So he's not losing any money. If anything, he's just now he doesn't have to work.
Now I don't feel as bad.
He doesn't have to work now. Now he's just now he gets paid well not doing anything
or something
because he's a co-creator. So
and he's gonna get paid for all the merch that they sell and any IP that they use after the show is over.
Oh, so he made out on top.
Yeah. So he literally wins after he gets fired because there were reports that he was getting lazy and not contributing to the writing of the show as much.
For the last several seasons.
Yeah, which he had the license to do because he was the heart of the show. And the failure of this new season is going to prove that. The Rotten Tomatoes scores are looking abysmal. It says 50% from critics and 43% from audience. Far,
I have 63% from critics, 32%
that's higher
from
than
audience.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, that's even worse. Yeah,
32%
from the audience. The critics are like slightly more charitable.
I couldn't get through the episode.
See, that's not a good. Oh, and here's a fun fact. So I was looking it up because I was like, okay, look, if he hadn't been writing in the last couple of seasons, anyways, then what's theoretically going to change? If the voice sounds similar and he's not doing the writing anyways, theoretically the show should be fine. I don't know if I buy that the average person knows enough about what's going on in Hollywood to be like, I'm not watching this. Justin Roiland is no longer... Like, I don't know if I buy that, right?
Yeah.
But the writers attributed to this episode were a guy named Nick Rutherford, who's only done 3 episodes between 2021 and 2023. So one this year... and then a couple in seasons past. And the other one is somebody named Cody Ziegler, who's only done 1 episode. And his other credits were as a staff writer on She-Hulk, Attorney at Law. So, you know,
that's no good.
That could be why the writing is just not up to par.
You're like that Charlie Day meme from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia.
Yes, they tell me the chat likes to tell me I look like Charlie Day all the time. I don't see it.
I'm not a fan of Rick and Morty in the first place, so like this doesn't affect me in any way. I wouldn't find the previous seasons funny, so...
The first couple were funny. The last few were watchable in the background to have just as something on. They have gradually gotten less and less funny. This first one, I couldn't even... I was just like, I don't even
How far
in finish this
was
show.
Was Pickle Rick before or after they kind of fell off that cliff?
I don't know.
Why
is this like a personality
Rick
quiz?
meme was the only impression I had of this show's existence.
I think that was in the earlier seasons, no?
Okay.
I'm not sure. Ask the audience.
Oh, that and the Szechuan sauce meme. But that's the only impression.
That's
I had
one of
of
the things that I saw almost universally in the chat was like people were, or the other day was like people saying like, look, I know Rick and Morty from memes, not from watching it. There's a lot of shows that are like that, right? That I know.
Even The
memes.
Simpsons is like that now.
It's become like that for a lot of people, right?
The Office is sort of like that now.
Yeah. Well, The Office especially for younger. But has The Office kind of leaped generations? Does Gen Z watch The Office?
It doesn't seem like it.
My favorite Office meme recently was it mixes John Krasinski and Vin Diesel and says the family. And it's,
that's funny.
It did the face thing where it makes them both together, and it's
gosh, I can't stand John Krasinski. I'm sorry. I don't know why they tried to make him an action hero heartthrob.
I'll tell you why. Because I just watched. I'd never seen 13 Hours, which is based on Benghazi, the military contractors at Benghazi, and it's really, really, really good.
But because of him.
He's really, really good in the movie. I don't know if he's it's a pretty wide cast, but he's definitely the star of the movie, right? Like, my guess is that he got his starring role in Jack Ryan because of his work in that movie.
I won't watch them just because he's in it. But if they got like just as good of an actor who was like just more believable and a little bit more masculine, I would watch those movies because I've heard they're really good.
They compensate because he's got the beard. They give him the full beard. Okay. He's in really good shape. He looks like he could be a private military contractor in the movie, right? The other actors in it are all up to that same. My favorite is I was telling Mary, there's a guy named Max Martini, and he's always cast as vaguely military person. And I love that because he's got this deep voice. He was in the show called The Unit. And he's really, really good. And I was like, but he was like a TV actor, right? And at this point, John Krasinski was on his way up to being like a film star. So Max Martini plays vaguely military contractor number 4, and all the other guys they look the part in that movie. I thought that was really, really good. Okay. But yeah, he works. I like John. I don't hate John Krasinski. I never watched The Office though, so I don't have that like.
It's a little goofy.
Yeah,
for me.
There's a lot of actors like that who once you see them in something specific, you have a hard time. Like, imagine if they tried to make David Schwimmer an action star after Friends.
Oh,
Has
man.
he done anything?
I don't know. I don't think so. But I guess David Arquette went on to do. He played Dewey in Scream.
Loved.
Oh,
that
yeah, he's
character.
Right? Like that was great. But that's for the most part. That's the most I think of him, other than anything else that he's done.
Yeah.
Right.
That's the only thing I know him from.
Yeah.
Honestly.
So it is what it is. I have no interest in Rick and Morty, and I think they're wrong. I don't think it's going to get canceled. I think it'll keep going.
Right.
I think it's cheap enough to make, especially if you get rid of one of the main people. He'll still get paid royalties, but he's not going to get paid a per episode fee now.
They said many fans will tune into season 7 without knowing that Roiland left the show. Season 7 shows how Rick and Morty has matured into a machine built to outlast any individual contributor. But that just makes the show sound soulless, and like, why would you aspire to have a creation feel like it's more of a machine?
I think it's more the viewers that are soulless, that will just watch something for the sake of watching it and for the fact that it's popular, and it don't like.
Are
it
you
doesn't
saying
really...
this about yourself?
You know what? Look, I refuse to watch beyond season 7, episode 1.
I have a principled stance against ever watching Rick and Morty.
Yeah.
So.
The first few seasons were watchable.
Okay.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.